Hi there, my name is Stuart. Most people call me Stu. I have some last names, they're Adams and Husett, and some middle names, Robert and Emmanuel. Give me a grand total of Stuart, Robert, Emmanuel, Adams, Husett. So most people call me Stu. As you can see, I'm rather bad at Photoshop. But more importantly, you can also see that I go to Bangor University, where I'm a third year psychology student. And I'm here to tell you, the American high school leaver, about why you should consider going to Bangor University to do your degree. So, first of all, probably you want to ask the question, why should you consider studying in the UK? It's a fair question, and why would you want to move from America all the way to Britain to do a degree? Well, firstly, in the UK, university means university. A governmental act put in 1992 basically states that a university needs to be government accredited before it can give away a degree to somebody. This basically means that if you go to a university and get a degree, you know it's a real degree. Secondly is accommodation. In the UK, students tend to show a trend of moving away to a new city to do their degree. Due to this, all universities are well equipped for students who are moving away from home for the first time. Bangor University is no exception and guarantee that all first year students will be given accommodation in the university halls. The NHS. If you've been living in England for more than 6 months, then you're automatically guaranteed full treatment on the NHS.
Operation may be needed.
Americanization. You can never feel too far away from home or too far away from America, because most of America's brands have made some intrusion on the British economy and lifestyle. Saying that, however, many products which you may well be used to, such as Twinkies or Gatorade or Mountain Dew, are not actually available over in Britain, so maybe it might be worth stocking up on some of those before you come over. Transportation. Contrary to popular belief, most of the British transport system works really rather well. Buses are relatively cheap and will be able to take you to almost any point in any city. There's also the train for more long distance services, and if you book them early, they're pretty cheap as well. Thanks to companies such as EasyJet and Ryanair, it's now relatively cheap and easy to get to various places across the UK and Europe, so more and more students are travelling abroad for the weekend to places such as Amsterdam and Spain. But here in Britain, you'll be pleased to know that as soon as you start in your freshman week, you'll be able to purchase alcohol completely legally, as the legal purchasing age is 18. So as soon as you enter the UK, you'll be able to be like this man here. More realistically, you could also be like this man here.
I'm only 18, I'm allowed to be served alcohol.
Now we need the room fresh to come and serve it.
An old rosy, please. And a pint of Carlton. Let's hope I've got enough money.
Just so that everybody's on the right page, I'd like to point out at this juncture that Bangor is here in North Wales and not here in Northern Ireland, neither is it here in Maine. Some statistical information here to show that Bangor University is quite a good university. Research conducted for the British government has concluded that of Bangor University's 26 departments, 6 were awarded a 5, being the maximum points given, and 7 were awarded a 4. Over half of the university's departments have been awarded an excellent rating, again the maximum possible, and 77% of all of the staff at Bangor are placed in the top 4, 5 and 5+ grades of research, 4 being research being conducted of international renown, so there's a lot of good research going on here. I could go on and on with all sorts of this stuff, but if you are looking into universities, especially Bangor, you will hear a lot of stuff elsewhere, so I don't want to repeat the same information. But saying that, I could also possibly the Prince Madog, which is a 390 ton, 115 foot, £3.5 million research vessel the university owns and operates for its ocean science students, or I could name drop a whole bunch of really impressive people in the psychology department that are of world renown, or I could possibly mention the £1.4 million chemistry IC3 computer equipment that they've just had installed, which is one of only 2 Okay, I'm going to go on a slight tangent here. I'm going to try and point out some things which you may not be familiar with as an American in Britain, but I'm also going to highlight that they're not actually always that bad. Chavs are an almost uniquely British phenomena, also known as Neds, Scallies and Townies. Chavs are basically a stereotype or an individual or group of individuals who are linked in the British media to antisocial behaviour. However, as with most stereotypes, this is often not the case whatsoever. Almost every single person that you'll meet on the street is a perfectly friendly person, and there's pretty much no reason to think twice about anything. And on top of that, Bangor is actually also one of the statistically safest cities in Britain. Alright then, moving on to point number 2, which is music. Unfortunately, in Bangor, it's quite out of the way of most other cities, so a lot of bands fail to stop there when they're touring. Which, however, saying that, there is a thriving local scene of music, often playing at many of the local places, including the Railway Institute, the Menai, and Hendra Hall. There's a wealth of local talent to be taken advantage of, including bands such as Portrait of a Lifetime, Red Nature, Presidium, Alexander Beetle, and 20 Foot Ninja, as well as many, many others. The third thing to be aware of is the weather. Not only are you in the United Kingdom, you're also on the coast of Wales in the United Kingdom, so rain is an issue, so make sure you do bring a raincoat and some warm socks. Once or twice a year you'll hear a rumour about snow. Now it's important as an American, to understand that this is a British concept of snow, not the American idea of drifts and snow ploughs and, snow. In Britain, snow often goes under the guise of slush, hail, and other such non-snow items. More commonly, however, you will encounter the rain. In fact, you're guaranteed to encounter the rain. But that's okay, because it's not uniquely, but it's definitely a British thing, and it gives you the authority when you go back to America to actually talk about rain as an authoritative person. Point number 4 then is the social life. Unfortunately, because Bangor's slightly isolated and a small town, you may grow sick after 3 years of Octagon, Time, Academy and Hendra Hall, Bangor's 4 main forms of nightlife entertainment. However, Arriva trains and Virgin trains come to the rescue, with taking you to Manchester, Liverpool, London and Edinburgh, all within 4 hours by train. And you should also be aware that actually the Bangor is full of student societies that are just wanting to take your money and get you drunk. Among these is the Bangor Mud Dogs, which is Bangor's new American football team, so that might be worth checking out as well. Unfortunately, and kind of obviously, I've saved the worst till last. Going under the AKAs of Time Hill, Morrison's Hill and obviously Bitch Hill comes Glanraffin Hill, which is infamous amongst Bangor students. As a student at Bangor University, you will have to climb this hill, mostly because at the bottom of the hill is Bangor City itself, and at the top of the hill are most of Bangor's dormitories and a large majority of student pubs and takeaways. Glanraffin Hill is actually that infamous amongst Bangor students that it's even spawned several Facebook groups. However, what should be taken in mind is that much of Bangor's nightlife is at the bottom of Glanraffin Hill, and because you will be going back to the top at the end of the night, it's actually an excellent way to work off the beer that you've already consumed on that night. Anyway, those are some of the things which you may Edward VII. Even as a jaded and worn student, it's still actually quite cool to walk along the corridor. Itself is actually a really pleasant place. It's filled with parks and nice grassy areas where you can go and revise or just have lunch or something. And because and also because you're in Wales, there's no charge on prescription. Reason number 4 is community. Because Bangor's excellent. Reason number 5 to like Bangor is the transport. Buses go everywhere local. You can get to pretty much any local town, and you can even get up to almost the top of Snowdon on a bus, so that's pretty good. There's also the trains. They leave every hour from Bangor Station, going to either Holyhead or going to Chester or Crewe, from where you can get a train to pretty much anywhere in the UK. There's the Holyhead ferry, which once you're there will take you to Ireland and in fact several other destinations across Europe. And there's also Anglesey Airport, which is another method of getting to Cardiff only. They fly twice a day, and if you've got the money, I don't know anybody that does, but maybe you do, it might be worth doing that. So now that we've seen some of the things about Bangor, let's actually do a tour around Bangor. So here's Bangor, and here is the university, and here is the train station. And we'll pretend that you are now coming on the train from Holyhead. So you arrive at Bangor, and there you are.
I'm in Bangor.
So you start off, you turn right down Holyhead Road, and then follow that down onto the High Street, passing Lidl and the Harp, which sponsors the university surf team. And then you continue on down the High Street, and you'll see the Black Bull and Varsity, 2 more student pubs, and continue all the way down the High Street until you reach the clock. This photo in 1908 shows that the clock in Bangor has been at the centre of the High Street for many, many years, and still is today. The clock is still the main focal point for Bangor High Street. Whatever it is you're looking for could probably be found on the High Street, be it food, clothes, or some form of entertainment. Continuing along the High Street, on the right will be Cobwreck, and then turning left, going down towards the main road, Daniel Road, you will encounter Aldi and Marks and Spencer's. If you continue along Daniel Road, you will eventually come to the boatyard, where if you turn left, you'll find the road that leads to Bangor Pier. Bangor Pier is one of Bangor's 3 main landmarks, along with the clock and main arts building, and is perfectly good to visit and very picturesque at any time of the year. Not only is it just a pretty place to go, it's also the place where you can experience one of Britain's greatest traditions, tea and scones. So then coming back along Silowan Road, you will encounter not only a very picturesque view, but also the Bangor Stone Circle. Even though it has a disputed heritage, it's still quite a cool place to go and hang out, relax, have a picnic, or revise. So then continuing along Merrion Road, you end up on College Road, and then you end up at the university. Remember, it's this place. Continuing along College Road, you come to the corner of Holyhead Road. If you follow Holyhead Road, firstly you'll get to Normal Site, which is the teaching and sports department for the university. Past that is Menai Bridge. If you cross Menai Bridge, you'll then be in Anglesey, which contains such delights as Clown Fair, known to locals as Clown Fair anyway, which is famous for being the longest place name in the world. Also in Holyhead are many beaches which are perfectly good for surfing and taking random pictures of yourselves with your friends, like this happy bunch of people here. For any aeronautical fans, Anglesey also contains RAF Valley, otherwise known as Anglesey Airport.
Wow, that's amazing.
Also here at the top of the High Street is Patrick's Bar, the Menai and the Bellwood. Slightly further on down Holyhead Road you will pass the Oriental Store and Rascals, as well as the Greek. If you turn right at the roundabout, you will be taken up to Frith Site, which is where most of Bangor's students in accommodation live. Also at Frith Site is the University Sports Hall and Play. Also here, where you're standing at the top of Glanraffin Hill, will be Morrison's, which is loved amongst all Bangor students. And then continuing down Glanraffin Hill, you'll eventually come to Daniel Road. Across the road from you will be the Yellow Pub, and on your left will be Time Amsa, which is the student-owned nightclub. If you now turn left down Daniel Road, you will pass the psychology buildings, biology buildings, chemistry buildings, and the main library, which then brings you back to the railway station. From here, you'll be just in time to catch a train, either going back to Holyhead or taking you off to Chester or Crewe, from where you can get a train to pretty much anywhere within the UK. And that's pretty much Bangor. Okay, and so that's about it. All that I've got left for you here are some links if you want to check out some more information about Bangor on your own. The top 3 are for more recreational purposes, and the bottom 3 are more student specific. And all that remains for me to say is thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in Bangor soon. See you later.